you doing? This is Erick from AHA, Americans Helping Americans, and AMP Live, the American Mentee program. Coming on here as promised. All right, got a couple of things going on here with the screen share, a little Zoom action, live, the event, all that good stuff. The main thing is just to come on here and share. If you see it, awesome. If not, you'll see it in social media or in the AMP Live group somewhere. But it's for content and it's to do our part to share, right? To put that stuff out there so it'll help you. Because I know there's people out there that are struggling, having a hard time with business, and there's others that are rocking and rolling. There's others that need a little bit of education or a little bit of help. Grab a golden nugget from here and there, because that's what I did when I got started back in 2003. Figuring out if I wanted to do this business or not. Is it even freaking real? Okay. So I'm going to get into it a little bit. It's always live and uncut, right? So there's nothing scripted, not going off a bunch of notes and things of that nature, right? It's coming from the heart, coming from the soul, coming from the spirit, coming out from me to you, and here to help you. Now, what we're obviously, it says Americans Helping Americans. That's what we're all about. You know, one American at a time, one property at a time, one family at a time. We're doing our part, get America back on track. We know there's some crazy stuff going on. And if we can empower and help just one fellow American to help another one and another one, that's where the strength lies, right? It's all about united we stand, because, you know, divided we fall. And that's what, you know, hey, it is what it is. And that's what people want. Not people, but the elites and all that good stuff. I'm not going to get too much into that, but it's the freaking truth. You either figure it out, or you understand the language I'm speaking at the end of the day, because everybody listens and hears what they want to hear, right? Perception is reality at the end of the day. And obviously governments and, you know, elites and all those peeps are professionals at that, right? So this is what I'm going to do. So I'm going to go ahead. I got a little help from Jake here and there, but I'm going to go ahead and we're going to just talk about basically why we're here, right? One is, how do we find a deal? Number one, right? And then two, when we get that deal or find that lead, how do we take that lead to an appointment, right? How do we get on the horn and actually qualify the seller? Yes, qualify the seller, not the other way around, right? Where the seller thinks they're qualifying you, right? That's not how we do it. Some people do, and I definitely get it, but it's all about the art of the deal. You learn the art of the deal. Creative real estate investing is the key, because when all things go awry and they take a shit at the end of the day, creative real estate is what keeps you alive and what keeps you flowing and what keeps you from cycle to cycle to cycle, right? I am a product of the last cycle. My mentors are products of the cycles before that and before that, okay? So having a mentor is super, super powerful. So today, yes, I'm going to, you know, at the end of this, I'm going to offer you some things that we haven't offered other mentees throughout the United States of America. And that's because we're doing our part to give back. 2022 is around the corner. We're gearing up, so hopefully you're gearing up at the end of the day. But we're going to talk about this process. I'm going to go through it live on here on the screen. That's why I wanted to do it this way instead of, you know, seeing my mug and, you know, if you need to see who I am and all that good stuff, or you don't know who I am, I'll share a couple of pictures here. We'll get into that. Some links you can go take a look at. And probably saying, well, who the hell am I, and who am I to share this stuff? Well, this is the thing. Got experience for one, all right? Two, is because I can and I will. And we got these lovely platforms called social media now, right? To some it's a curse, and to others it's a freaking gift, right? So like Cardone says, man, social media is awesome. The millennials get it. People who are into marketing get it, because if you're in the real estate business, realistically, you're in the marketing business, right? Marketing you, marketing your brand, and sellers need to see that, right? So everybody has their own little twist on stuff. At the end of the day, it still comes down to the art of the deal, right? And nothing's changed. I mean, I've looked at stuff from 2003 to now and go, how many deals, how many people I got to talk to get a deal? How many appointments do I need to get before I can, you know, land an offer and land a deal? You know, so a lot of things are still the same. It's just that the only thing is, yes, there's a lot of noise. You got Facebook, you got social media, you got Google ads, you got Facebook ads, you got Snap this, Snap that, all kinds of stuff. But, you know, it's a lot to handle. The bottom line is that one thing that is always true is that the art of the deal's never gone away. It's still there. It's your skill set. If you are awesome at what you do, of course, that takes practice, right? It's like if you're going to do anything in life, whatever it is, it takes time. You can't just come in and say, I'm going to be a CEO and rock and roll and, you know, and take over the world. Sure, If you got some experience in a plan and a game plan, you're ready for that, it'll happen. But without any preparedness or without practicing and going into it and making things happen, it's not going to happen. But having a mentor does chop that stuff down, right? That's what I did. That's why I moved up very quickly when I first got started. Of course, I did. I'm not gonna lie. I studied for about a year and a half, man. People, guys, gals. Before I got into the business, I was working, a little bit of history on myself. I was working 80 to 90 hours a freaking week, right? At a corporate gig, 40 to 48 hours on a salary, meaning that means I was making pennies on the dollar, right? Not seeing my family, not seeing my kids grow up, missing the best times of their lives when they're younger, right? I had to make a decision. I go, shit, I'm working 80, 90 hours a week already. So what do I do? Do I continue with this and move up the corporate ladder, get my 250K, buy a house, picket fence, get my cars, do whatever I want to do? But then you know what happens when you got kids in a family, it sucks up the cash. It disappears very quickly. Then I'm going to be back to going, shit, I need to make money. I need to invest. It's going to circle back to real estate anyways. So went back to quality of life, went back to freedom. I know everybody who sees this is probably going to say, I'll ask you a question. What is it that you want from real estate? Seriously, what do you think real estate's going to do for you? What do you think and hear about in regards to real estate? A lot of people hear, I can get into wholesaling. It's cheap, no money. I can make it happen easily, easy peasy, right? Yes and no. Just depends on where you're at in your life, where your mindset is at, and whether or not you're going to be able to get hammered, right, by sellers, investors, buyers. And then it's about analysis of paralysis. Now, you probably hear this videos and all this good stuff. The bottom line is never going to be watered down. I'm going to tell you as it is. I'm going to tell you the truth. At the end of the day, you guys make a decision. Hey, if you like what you see, I'm going to offer you a 6-month one-on-one mentoring program. We got coaching and all that other good stuff. The bottom line is that's what we're here to do, but we're in the field doing deals. I want to share some of that stuff with you. We're going to do some case studies and show you how we found a lead, and then what happened with the lead. How do we turn it into an appointment? How do we turn that appointment into an offer? And then how do we take that offer and actually closing and doing a deal, right? Or getting that deal, and then a new phase starts. It's called getting it sold, right? Either got a buyer's list, or as I always say, if you got a real deal, real buyers will come out of the woodwork, right? If it's a solid, juicy deal. And even then, you can wholesale it, Subto it, seller finance, take it down, fix and flip, hard money, traditional. There's 1,000 ways. I wouldn't say 1,000, but there's a lot of ways to take that down. And you should have multiple exit strategies on every deal. If you're wholesaling, you should look at it if you were going to buy it. If you wouldn't buy it, what makes you think someone else is going to buy that deal from you and selling that paper to someone else, right? Now, there's some marginal things there. It's either going to be a cash buyer or a buyer who's willing to spend, a little bit more on 70, 75 cents on the dollar because things have kind of changed thanks to the Chinese virus thingy. At the same token, what's going to happen? Hey, you pay a little bit more, can you? Sure. Well, the wholesalers, it's a one-trick pony. Here's the cash deal. It's 70, 75 cents on the dollar, 60, whatever, depending on where you're at. If it's Missouri, then it's like, 50, 55 cents or 60 cents on the dollar. If you're in California, it's going to be, hey, everybody wants 70 cents on the dollar, all in. That means, ARV minus repairs, and boom, that's my number, right? For example, $1 million property, that's got to be in there at 700,000, minus repairs and all that good stuff. Is going to be lower than that, depending on the repairs, right? Like, for example, there's one in Northern California, $150,000 in repairs, right? NOD, notice the trustee sale coming up and all that other good stuff, right? Now, those type of properties are good. They're distressed properties. You just have to lay down the art of the deal with the seller and provide some solutions to them, right? Now, that particular property that came down the wire was from the young man driving for dollars, right? He's driving for dollars. He found it, but the magic was in what? I always say magic. I don't like the word magic, but it's true. Magic or money in follow-up, right? Followed up. He didn't even follow up. They followed up because that property did not close. If it didn't close, so they called him and said, "Boom, okay, what do you do?" He came aboard the Amp Live American Mentee program. 9 days later, we locked that sunbuck up, right? Under contract. And then we just needed to push it and sell it. It's a very, very unique property, right? It was huge, had a lot of bedrooms, good for sober living, assisted living, but sometimes the sellers, right? Sellers are, not going to be transparent, and that's okay. We're not here to call sellers liars. We're not here to call them out on stuff, but that's why you got to do your due diligence, right? And we did all of our due diligence, even when it came back with title and all these other things popped up and judgments popped up. We don't go back and, hey, you know what? You lied to us. No, we go back and say, here's what we have to do now. Things have changed because now we have a couple of judgments here and they need to be paid. So what do? Right? If it's a regular wholesaler, they're going to go, I don't know. I guess it's not a deal. Let it go. Boom, done. But if you have the art of the deal and you're into creative real estate investing, which is the key, and I want everybody who sees this video, get into creative real estate investing. Yes, it's creating competition, but there's more than enough for everybody, because here's the numbers on that, right? I'm going to kind of go off on a little tangent here, right? About 1 to 3% of investors in the United States of America really truly understand creative real estate investing or choose to do real estate investing, because there's a lot more to it than just writing a contract and trying to get it sold and get paid, which is easy and awesome, right? And it works. But like anything else, real estate is cyclical. It's going to change. Things are going to change. The cycle's coming, whether you want it to come or not. Good or bad, it doesn't matter. You adapt or you perish, period. So those things are going to happen. But when a deal like this comes to the table, guess what? You're going to be able to structure that deal and go, hey, yeah, we can still make it work. How? What do we need to do, right? What paperwork do we need to do? Get an authorization of release. Let's talk to the bank. Let's negotiate the judgments and things of that nature and bring those down. Hey, maybe if we go a short sale, then we can negotiate the first, eliminate the second, right? Get rid of those judgments. Now we got a nice juicy deal, right? Of a property that's worth 1.165 million, and now it's down to 600-some-thousand bucks. Yeah, if it's a short sale, it may take time, right? 7-8 months, but who cares? Put in your pipeline, rock and roll, move on, keep on doing what you need to do. Fill your pipeline until it's overflowing, right? That's what you need. That's what you want. And if that pipeline's overflowing, you're not going to worry and stress out and babysit one deal. Oh, I got a deal, now I got to babysit. Okay, yeah, that's fine. You got to get it done, right? It's all about hyper focus. But at the same token, even if we don't do a short sale, well, we can go back in. Let's eliminate those judgments. Okay, let's negotiate the second and bring it down. Even if we get it at 700,000-800,000, we're still doing good, right? Even if we had to take care of all those things, make up the back payments of 70,000-80,000 bucks or 50 or 40, doesn't matter. We're leveraging, right? We can leverage, take over the property, buy it Subto, make up the back payments and reinstate that property. And then we can go ahead and do what? Put some money into it. Grab that 100, 150 is probably we're thinking. We could probably get it done for 90 to 100 or less if we chop, not chopping corners. What it is getting good labor, babysitting the contractors, babysitting the rehab and all that good stuff. And guess what, right? It's only going to bring more money back to the bottom line. If you don't, then that's okay. You can still do it. 150,000, there's still some profit there. Put it back on the market. Days on the market are super low. Wherever you go in the United States of America, it's very rare that they're not, simply because people are buying shit left and right. Properties are selling higher than what they need to be, right? And that's going to change, and that's going to be the opportunity. That's why I say gear up now. Get ready for this. Learn the art of the deal. Learn creative real estate investing, because wholesaling will only go so far in the race, right? Plus, it's only a one-trick pony. And if you want to really understand what wholesaling is or where it came from, the bottom line is wholesaling is creative real estate investing. You just don't know that it is. Or if you do and you've been in the business a while, you're going, yeah, wholesaling is just that. It's selling paper. That's what was done in the commercial business before it became wholesaling. Even in the last cycle, it was still the same thing. It was selling paper, buying a property for 10 bucks, 100 bucks, leveraging it out, doing some creative real estate investing, getting some private money, fix and flip, or just sell the paper to your favorite investor or your buddy, right? Or whoever's in the business, and let them rehab it. And you get your 5, 10, 15, 20,000 bucks, move on to the next one. That's what I did when I got started. When I finally decided to go, you know what, I'm going to get into this business. And I started off, I'm going to lie, freaking bird dog, right? A bird dog. Right? So if you know what that term is, awesome. If you don't know what a bird dog is, that's okay. It just means that, hey, you're looking for properties for an investor. You're looking for the ugliest properties on the block. It's kind of like driving for dollars, or like we like to call it, a term we call surfing for deals. We coined it back in 2010, where you're just surfing for deals. Online is just like driving for dollars, same thing, but back in the day.